Any photographer, if you're starting a business, you got to invest in your business, and you got to look at your budget for your investment and buy the most expensive camera that you feel fits into your budget and allows you to buy the other things you need to start the business. So let that budget limit which camera you're going to get. Obviously, you get what you pay for, so the more money you put into it, the higher resolution, the more bells and whistles it's going to have, and the better photos it's going to give you. So when I was looking for light, when I first bought my lights, I didn't have a studio, so I wanted mobile power. So I bought Lumidynes, little Lumidyne lights that are great. I still have them, I still use them a lot. They're fairly inexpensive, but now Alien Bees came out and they've got, great light, really controllable. They're reliable, they're amazing. There's a thing called the Vagabond that's battery powered. If you don't have a studio and you want to walk around, I got a Vagabond that powers my Alien Bees. That's a great place to start. My belief is that you need a studio when you have the business to support the studio. You don't need to go out and run and get a studio at all, especially if you're shooting natural light headshots. I shot in a studio apartment with my wife pregnant in the bed while I was shooting the client, right next to us in a studio. I mean, it worked out fine. I had twin daughters and we moved to a tiny little 2-bedroom, and I had this window that faced the Empire State Building, and I would shoot people on this couch that laid flat. It's over there, actually, that couch. And it lays flat, and I would put people on that, and I'd put my butt on the windowsill. But it was a tiny little living room. And then we moved into this is all in the same building, up to the top floor of the building with a bigger apartment with 2 bedrooms. And it was my living room that turned into my studio every single day. And I did it that way until this opportunity came where I got this tiny little room in a little studio and in a big studio, but it was a room off to the side. And that was really where my career took off. So you do not need a studio until you're ready. It's not even don't even think about it. Don't even stress it. And you can find space to rent. If you really want to rent a studio, you can rent a studio in New York City for probably $150 or $200 a day somewhere. You don't need to worry about getting a studio until you load up 5 clients. If you really want to shoot studio strobes and shoot in a studio, load up 5 or 10 clients for one day and rent a studio and go shoot like a maniac. When you guys are editing your photos that you've taken, I want you to look at them with a trained eye. I want you to really figure out what photo is the best. For me, it's got to have a connection to the camera. The person is not going to be blind. I don't want the person to look like they're in front of a camera. I want the person to look like they're looking at a human being. I want the human being to get a feeling from it, to wonder what the person in front of the camera is thinking, to give them that expression. That's what, to me, a good headshot is. How do I figure out what I want to do for my clients? With actors, it's really a range. I want to create the gamut of sweet, innocent girl next door for a woman to bitch on wheels, and everything in between that I can hit that works in a confident way. And it could be approachable on this end of the spectrum and more cocky on this end of the spectrum. So that's really the bar. For guys, it's generally about the same thing. You want to be a nice guy. You want to broaden their age range, make them look really innocent and young with girls and guys, and then make them look as old as they can look as well. So they got an age range and an expression difference throughout the shoot. So I'm trying to create those different shots. I think a lot of photographers are just trying to get a good shot out of them, period, and they're not really focusing on different things. I'm trying to, throw everything against the wall and see what sticks. Let's talk about color versus black and white. In 2000, when I started shooting, it was all black and white for headshots. By 2002, 2003, LA was all color. So LA went color first. New York fought against color. I was one of the first ones to say, guys, we got to go color. All the headshot photographers wanted to stay black and white because it was cheaper and easier for them. Color became a whole new ball of wax. When I went digital in 04, January 04, I bought my digital camera. I was color then from that moment on. And I was pushing everybody towards color. Before that, I didn't want to shoot color either. I was a pro at black and white. My black and white was gorgeous, so I wanted to stick with film black and white. But when I went digital, I was like, this is the direction it's going. And the only reason why it wasn't color prior to that is because of a price issue in the printing. Black and white's much cheaper to print than color until now. Now black and white color costs the same. Of course, print color. When you walk in the door for an audition, You don't walk in as a black and white individual. You're color, so print color. Okay, vertical versus horizontal. How did this come about? It essentially came about because of the way I like negative space. I like space to move. If I shoot a headshot that's a traditional, real headshot vertically, you're in there, there's nowhere to move. I'm here. Where am I going? You know, I got the head to here, the face is here, the body's here, and you're not moving anywhere, and I don't find that the eye has anywhere to wander. I see horizontally first. So if I'm shooting actors and I'm thinking about a movie screen's horizontal. If I'm going to put that person up on a movie screen, how's it going to be shot? Next movie you go to, watch when they're do close-ups. How are they shot? They're cropped the way I crop them pretty much. You know, so it gives the eye a place to wander.